like to call to order the regular board meeting for Buchanan Community Schools, and we'll welcome you to our meeting from wherever you're coming from, or if you're joining us live stream, we're glad to have you here with us. Of course, all of our meetings have been posted on our district website in all of our buildings. It may be emailed out to you as well. Tonight's agenda is available in the back if you're attending tonight, so you can follow along with us as well. And of course, our board members do receive a packet ahead of time related to the board meeting in order to review and be fully prepared to participate in their oath of office. Of course, this is the meeting for the Board of Education for public purposes and conducting the school district's business. It's not to be considered a public community meeting. We do recognize the importance of public comments, especially related to educational issues, and we welcome the public to express that and filling out a public comment card, passing it to the front. And with that being said, providing information such as your name and contact information so we can provide a response to you. With that being said, excuse me, can we go ahead and stand for our Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excuse me. Let's go ahead with roll call.
Mr. Carlson.
Here.
Ms. Brackett.
Here.
Ms. Ryder.
Here.
Ms. Lesh here. Dr. Carlin.
Here.
Ms. Berry.
Here.
And Dr. Burnett.
Here. Moving on to the adoption of the agenda, may we have a motion, please?
I move the agenda for the board meeting of December 16th, 2024 be adopted as written.
Support.
All right, roll call.
Mr. Carlson.
Yes.
Ms. Brackett.
Yes.
Ms. Ryder.
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin.
Yes.
Ms. Berry.
Yes.
And Dr. Burnett.
Yes. Moving on to recognition of visitors. We welcome you all to our board meeting. And Ms. Robinson, anything else to add?
We welcome everyone, especially during this holiday season. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Amen. Oh, what am I? Okay.
We're in church.
Okay, we're not in church, but
It's
anyway.
okay. It's all good.
Moving on, points of
I don't
pride.
think they heard you.
Let's look at our Buck staff appreciation.
So the December nominees include Aaron Crackey, Buchanan Middle School technology teacher, Haley Sater, third grade teacher, Jordan Haynes, moccasin noon supervisor, Kelly Smith, elementary instructional coach, Mark Curlin, director of operations and instructional systems coordinator, Melissa Prestine, elementary music teacher, Shelby Beasley, Buchanan Middle School principal, Shelley Leitz, speech pathologist, and Tom Cruzan, I don't know, say Cousinow, thank you, fourth grade teacher. And also for the Buck Staff Appreciation December winner is Miss Tara Mabry, a kindergarten teacher, and I will read what was submitted. Tara Mabry exudes Buck pride and school spirit. Her outgoing personality and love for littles at Ottawa does not go unnoticed. She welcomes students into her class with open arms and accepts challenges at hand with a positive attitude. She immediately modified her classroom in August upon receiving a kindergartner who spoke very little English. She learned our Buck 3 common language as well as other important phrases in Spanish so she could communicate clearly with him. You will rarely see her without a smile on her face. Tara, your growth mindset and undenying Buck pride is appreciated. Hold on. On behalf of the Board of Education and the administration of Buchanan Community Schools, we thank you for your service and encourage you to keep up the great level of achievement and service to our district. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And Tara?
Come on up.
Come on down, Tara.
Congratulations.
All right. Moving on to the second points of pride. At this time, we're going to ask Ruth Ryder to come forward here.
Guys are hurting me here.
Oh, man. As we recognize a school board member.
You'll be fine.
You want a hand? I can clap.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Can do it too. As many of you may or may not know, Ruth has been a board member with us for 12 years, fulfilling the position of not only board member and trustee, but also being vice president with us as well. And of course, she has decided, hey, I want to continue moving on to different pathways, or what we call the great group of life on different things, and new chapter for Ms. Ryder. And I've known Ruth for a long time, and it's kind of hard to, even though she's going to be around for a while, a long time, okay, just
or something as well. So I'd like for Mrs. Young to give her that as well. So Ruth, as organized as she is, she provided me with her resume, an extensive resume, and I thought it was worth noting all of the things that she's done, and we put that in an atmosphere for everyone to hear. So I want to read it off. So tonight we gather with deep gratitude and admiration to celebrate the remarkable service of Mrs. Ruth Ryder. Since joining the Buchanan Community Schools Board in 2012, Ruth has played an instrumental role in shaping the educational experiences of thousands of students and families. Her wisdom, dedication, and leadership have guided key decisions that have left a lasting impact on our community. Ruth's decades of service to education and extraordinary accomplishments tell a story of dedication, passion, and excellence. Starting with her personal educational journey, it is nothing short of inspiring. So her K-12 education began in Climax Scots. Post-secondary institutions, she attended 6, Western Michigan University, St. Lawrence University in New York, University of Vermont, University of Maine, Indiana University, Western Michigan University. Throughout her career, Ruth has taught at 7 schools and institutions, including Climax Scots, Paw Paw Adult Education, Buchanan Community Schools Adult Education, Western Michigan University, and she did 2 stints of that, one in the summer in Canada, Michigan State University, and then University of Vermont. Ruth has directly impacted the lives of over 5,000 students, teaching 26 courses ranging from U.S. history and world geography to specialized topics like Canadian studies, human geography, and African American history. Her work has enriched minds and expanded perspectives for generations of learners. Her contributions extend far beyond teaching. She has served as Curriculum Director for Social Studies, Department Chair, Senior Class Advisor, National Honor Society Advisor, Model UN Coordinator, Canadian Exchange Program Leader, Close-Up Program Leader, Concessions Coordinator. She has co-founded initiatives such as the Special Interest Group for Canada within the National Council for Social Studies and has presented 82 workshops and presentations at local, state, national, and international levels. Her published works, 14 in total, reflect her expertise and commitment to advancing education. Since 2012, she has served on the Buchanan Community Schools Board in various capacities, such as, and Dr. Burnett said, trustee, vice president, and secretary. She has worked alongside dedicated board members, administrators, principals, vice principals, superintendents, collaborating to make Buchanan schools a beacon of excellence. Her exceptional career was acknowledged in 1992 when she was honored as a finalist for the Michigan Teacher of the Year, a testament of her passion, innovation, and dedication to the teaching profession. Mrs. Ryder has been more than an educator. She has been a mentor, especially to me coming in, so I certainly appreciate that. Leader, advocate, and visionary. Her tireless efforts and steadfast commitment to students and families have left an indelible mark on Buchanan Community Schools and beyond. Tonight, we celebrate Mrs. Ryder not only for her years of service, but for the enduring legacy she leaves behind. Thank you for your unwavering dedication, inspiring leadership, and the countless lives you have touched. Your impact will be felt for generations to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I didn't share that, so you had to read it. I know that some of the people here have known me a little longer, and so that's fine.
It needed to be said.
Yes.
Mrs.
Sorry.
Young, do you want to come on up and bring?
Oh, Trinity.
That's your thing.
I just wanted to come tonight and let Mrs. Ryder know. Sorry. She's awesome. We did this Saturday night too. But thank you for all that you've done. You taught us how to be strong women, strong black women, as hard as that is for a white woman to do for a black girl. She helped us start our first black student union here at Buchanan. My brother was the first president. And she taught me how to shut up little boys and grown men in a very sweet way. So on behalf of myself and the class of 1992, we thank you.
Thank you, Trey, that was sweet. Do you want to do it? Can we do a picture? Yeah. Well, all, the board. We want one with the board. And Ruth, she can take one too. All right.
Let's gather around and have a picture with Ruth up front.
I wondered about John from teaching.
Okay.
Yeah, we made it.
Guys.
All right. Okay, moving on. Superintendent and department reports. Anything else to add, Ms. Robinson?
No, nothing else to add to the reports.
Okay. Moving on to presentations. Mr. Macbeth?
Oh,
If he's in the back.
he is. I was like, he's trying. I was just gonna say. There it goes.
Well, while he's getting it ready, usually when I come, I talk about athletics, so today I have a little presentation about the virtual academy.
There we go. It's not here.
All right. So obviously the virtual academy has two parts to it. If you're not real familiar, Buchanan Virtual is more of it's kind of traditional just in the fact that the students have multiple classes they're taking at one time compared to Step Up where we only have students are taking one class at a time. So just some numbers up there for you. We have 53 students currently in the virtual academy. One was withdrawn due to basically lack of participation. You can see the Step Up one, we've had a lot more withdrawn. With Step Up, lots of times, just so we understand why it looks like that. Step Up is typically their kind of the last spot they go to when they're not successful in the school, they're not successfully virtually. We put them in Step Up, give them one course, and see if we can get them to complete something in there. So it's kind of the last spot they usually end up. Just some other things on there. In the virtual, 41% are male, 59% are female, and I thought was interesting in the Step Up, it was exactly the opposite. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but that's kind of a comparison between our virtual academy and Step Up. Phil?
No.
Oh, yes, I do.
There we go.
Thank you. It was more fun to yell your name. So grade level, for virtual, we start in 6th grade. So you can see, I don't need to read through all those, but it breaks it down by grade level. Obviously, the high school numbers are our highest, make up the largest percentage of our virtual students, and the same in our step-up program. The largest numbers are from our high schoolers. Step-up, we only start in 8th grade, where the virtual academy actually starts in 6th grade. Below that, you can see the age distribution of the students as well. If you notice, if you look close, you're going to notice that in the step-up, the age of the students creeps up there a little bit higher. I think that's partly just because those are the students who have a course sometimes or two that they need to finish in order to graduate. So the ages of our students sometimes in the step-up program are a little bit higher. All right, so points of pride for the Virtual Academy and Step Up. A few years ago, we were designated as a CSI school. There was some other factors, but the main reason was our graduation rate was lower. One of the things to know is we are working our way off that list. I think we have shown tremendous growth so far. And so hopefully with the growth that we're showing, we're going to be off that list the next time that they essentially go through and look at the schools. The tough part about that, what we have learned is that some of the virtual academies that are out there that exist, when they end up on this list, their way of getting off the list is they close their schools. So the schools that are at the bottom sometimes close down, which means schools like Buchanan, which are doing all the right things to get off, sometimes still end up at the lower end of that list. So we're hoping that we can increase our scores enough where even those schools that shut down, we will still be able to get off the list the right way and not just close down, obviously. So if you look up there, overall, our index score, the index score is kind of a combination of factors that make you a CSI school. That has increased 3% from the previous school year and 20% since we were put on that list to begin with. Our graduation rate increased 3% again from last year and 7% from when we first started. Increased number of students that were not chronically absent. So one of the things that was included in that CSI report was absenteeism, students not essentially showing up to their classes online. And so that has, we've improved that by 19%. And then the last one, our Buchanan step-up attendance increased 12% from July to November of last year. So we're doing a lot better job getting the students who are in our programs to participate the way they're supposed to. Some ways we've done that, we've made, and we obviously have been given some funds because of our CSI designation, but we've offered tutors for all subjects, for all students. I think the tutoring has helped significantly. As you can see, tutoring and intervention sessions have increased by about 67%. The parent-teacher conferences, and so lots of times these students, not all, but a lot of the students who are in virtual, obviously the school setting isn't the right spot for them, but they had a participation rate for a high school program of nearly 70%, which according to Aaron, who is our BVA liaison, said that our percentage was a lot higher than most of the virtual schools that he works with, so that was good. Some other things they've done, students are actively participating in college and career pathway sessions, which include visits from several universities and apprenticeship programs, as well as social, emotional wellness, and life skills sessions. We do a lot of those things here at the high school for the students, so to be able to offer those same types of opportunities to our virtual students has been a plus. We now offer new drop-in tutoring sessions for ELA and math students for the middle school, and we've seen tremendous growth from some of the students who are struggling in the spring assessments. Those tutoring sessions have seemed to have been helping the middle school students a lot. And The last one just says this first semester comes to end this week. One of the things we like to show is the number of courses have been completed, but we are kind of in the last week here, so that data was not really totally available to us yet, so. And then the last one is just a picture of myself with our graduates at graduation last year. So we hope to have a big group of graduates again this year. So I think that is the end of my BVA step-up presentation for you guys, but hopefully. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
When they talk about graduation rates, is that a 4-year graduation rate? Or, I mean, the people in this program are there for a very important reason.
Yeah, well, which makes it difficult, and that's one of the
Yes.
things that we have kind of, we can't really argue because they kind of tell us the way it is, but they do put them with their cohort year, and so they base their graduation rate off their cohort year, which is why the graduation rates are as low as they are. You know, they're in the program for a reason, and so we have to do the best we can with the students we have there to try to get them through the program and with their cohort group. So it makes it difficult, and really, I mean, you want to get everybody through, but you really focus on those who are on pace because we want to keep those people on pace.
It would be nice if you could base it on when they enter the program versus
That
when
would
they
be
entered
nice,
high
yep.
school back in the day.
Right,
Is that for both BVA and Step Up, that
Correct.
they're with their cohort group?
correct, yep. For
Even though-
graduation rates, yes.
Right, even
So-
though the Step Up is only one course at a time?
Yeah, one class, but they can, I mean, if they really wanted to, they could get through the course quickly. It's just, that's why that's offered. Or you have students who maybe need one class or 2 classes to be finished, so then they have the opportunity to do it through Step Up that way. So, rather than take an entire, like, caseload of courses. So.
I have 2 more questions, if I can remember them. Parent-teacher conferences, is that new, or is that always
No,
been done?
they've done that. It's just always with the virtual end of it, so I'm not really involved. They meet with their
Oh, okay.
teachers virtually. So those teachers are their online teachers who are they're meeting with, and that's how they base those percentages.
Okay. I do remember the second question.
Okay?
Adult education, is that still an option? But it's for a payment, right? It's like a tuition for adults?
So they're trying to phase out adult education altogether.
Heard
We
that
are actually the last school that my virtual academy is working with that we've kind of agreed to stay on until they get the people in the program through the adult ed program. I believe Aaron has told me that they've given them 2 years. So a lot of the times, the students that we'll get will come into it and just have a class or 2, but there's people that really have to work, and he's given them 2 years to say, you need to have you need to be graduated by this time, or the opportunity won't exist anymore.
And are those just from the Buchanan area, or,
We get them all, that's the only
That-
ones that we get from all over is the adult ed. Yep.
and do you have any number?
How many we have? No, I do not.
Okay.
Nope. And I get names sent to me because, like I said, I had to ask Aaron this because they'll send me a name of a student, and I'll be like, I've never even heard of this student. And they'll had a program on the east side of the state that closes down, so they give them to us, and they have one class, they finish it, and then I get their name for graduation, and I'll have to say, I didn't even know we had this student, and they're like, well, you didn't until 2 months ago, and then,
Right.
but they needed to finish the program somewhere, so.
At least they have an option.
That's, yep, and that's why we decided, I had talked to Trish, and that's why we decided to leave that opportunity out there, at least until Aaron kind of closed the window for him, so.
And that's how we came to Buchanan, in part, was because of adult education.
I can remember adult I wasn't
Yeah.
in it, but I can remember having it,
Yeah,
so,
okay, thank you.
yep.
Coach,
Thank
on
you.
those 9 students that have withdrawn, are any of those back in Buchanan, or are they gone?
Most of them are, because 8 of them, I think, were step up.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the step up ones are the one, like, you giving them options. Now, we had one, I don't know where he included that one, we had one that was a middle school student, and I think, but I don't know if he's included in the numbers, if we included those. as returning, or if he included them as just part of the withdrawn, so,
Thank you.
yep.
Thanks, Reed.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, moving on to item I, information reports and new business. Human Resources Committee.
Have to find it, just a second. Sorry, I had it open and I closed it. All right. There you go. We met on December 4th, myself, Trish, Ruth, Kelly, and Carrie. We went over resignations, terminations, and those will be included in the consent agenda. The new hires, we had Brandy Wesner for the Ottawa para. We had Courtney for EduStaff dishwasher, Dan Ryder for the middle school basketball coach, Alice Kring for the Leo Club advisor, and then David Sokolowski for the middle school intervention was actually just a catch-up from one we had missed previously. We went over current open positions at the time, as well as talked through some information on health insurance updates. We also discussed a retirement that's coming for the end of January with Barry and Risa. It kind of feels weird to talk about it, so it's okay to talk about it, I
Yeah.
guess. Brian Brown it works with our business office through Barry and Risa, and he's retiring at the end of January, so sad to see him go, but congratulations to Brian. And we are looking at how we will cover that, those responsibilities, working with Barry and Risa on that. And then finally, we discussed special education. The current, we have a higher, I'll say an increase in need for evaluations and compliance. And with our current staffing, just looking to make sure that we continue to evaluate that to ensure our student, or our staffing meets the needs of our current student body. That's it. Anything I missed? Questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Looking at the, Parent Advisory Committee.
Yes, we met on December 12th. We had to meet virtually. There were a lot of things going on that night. That was last week, Thursday. So our meeting was fairly short. We talked about MTSS within the schools. I had gotten some information from each of the schools about what the process for MTSS in each of the schools. So I went over all of that information, giving the parents an update. We also talked about safety issues, a little bit of discussion about school start dates. There were parents had some questions about that. And pretty much that was it. So,
Okay.
yeah, that was our meeting.
All right, very good. Moving on to, item J, public comment. And I don't have any public comment cards.
Nothing for me.
So we will move forward to item K, the adoption of the consent agenda. May we have a motion?
I make a motion the Board of Education approves the consent agenda for the regular board meeting of December 16, 2024 be adopted as written, including number 1, the minutes from the 11/18/2024 regular meeting, the 12/2/2024 special meeting, and the 12/2/2024 closed session. Item 2, warrants, treasury and expenditure reports from November 2024, and dashboard from November 2024. Item 3, employment departures, Jamison DeCarlo, custodian, Derek Teft, seventh grade girls basketball coach, Abby Cantu, BHS administrative assistant to the principal, effective 1/3/2025 on that one. And coaching recommendation for 2024-25 submitted for Dan Ryder, seventh grade girls basketball coach, Brian Young, freshman boys basketball, and Doug Zundel, varsity assistant wrestling coach.
Support.
Okay. Any questions or comments for the consent agenda? All right, roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
No.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Ms. Ryder?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
And Dr. Burnett?
Yes. Moving on to item L1, VBA graduation certification. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion upon satisfactory completion of district requirements for high school graduation, Board of Education hereby approves Buchanan Virtual Academy students Reem Alzabar, Olivia Doherty, and Jada Brown.
Support.
All right. Ms. Robinson?
Congratulations to our graduates, and we see from the report that Reed gave how important this is and how impactful it is to our numbers as well. So congratulations to our graduates.
Roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Ms. Ryder?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
And Dr. Burnett?
Yes. Moving on to item L2, 2025 board meeting calendar. May I have a motion, please?
Do you want to make this one, Ruth? No, I'm just.
No, I don't have to do anything with that calendar.
I move the 2025 Board of Education meeting calendar is approved as written.
Support.
All right. Anything to add, Ms. Robinson?
Nothing to add.
All right. Roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Ms. Ryder?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
And Dr. Burnett?
Yes. Moving on to item L3, anticipated air conditioning upgrade.
I would like to make a motion that the Board of Education is excited to announce it will be seeking qualified contractors to submit bids for a design build for air conditioning upgrades to the following areas at Buchanan High School: band and choir room areas, media center, art room, main classroom, and CTE Cisco classroom. Detailed scope of the work that outlines the project requirements is planned to be posted in the weeks of January 6, 2025.
Support.
All right. Ms. Robinson?
Yes, and I would like to note that in addition to these, we have air conditioner units that will also go into the classrooms here at the high school. Much of this is Mrs. Ryder's efforts, since I think she was been on the board the first
Before.
year. So
It's always been a high priority because there is no experience like teaching high school senior males when it's 95 degrees outside, and
There
far
is no
higher
No.
than inside. So this has always been a concern. And this will be the last area for Buchanan Community Schools to be completely air-conditioned. So I applaud Mark Curlin and everyone who made this possible. Thank you.
And the teachers that have endured it without.
Yes.
Yes. There's going to be a lot of happier people in the spring and fall.
All right. Any other questions from board members? All right, roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Ms. Ryder?
An enthusiastic yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
And Dr. Burnett?
Yes. Moving on to item L4, moving into closed session for the superintendent evaluation. Motion, please.
I make a motion the Buchanan Board of Education moves into closed session per Section 8A of the Open Meetings Act to conduct an evaluation of the superintendent at 6:41.
Support.
All right, roll call.
Just a second, sorry. Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Ms. Ryder?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
And Dr. Burnett?
Yes. motion to move back to open session.
I move the Buchanan Board of Education resolves to return to open session at 7:29.
Support.
All right, roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Ms. Ryder?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
And Dr. Burnett.
Yes. Moving on to item L6, superintendent evaluation. May we have a motion?
I'll move the Buchanan Board of Education adopts the completed year-end evaluation for Superintendent Patricia Robinson.
Support.
And roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Ms. Ryder?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
And Dr. Burnett.
Yes. Moving on to item N, questions and comments from board members.
I would just like to say thank you for all the kind words.
Thank you for your service, Mrs.
Thank
Ryder.
you.
you.
You are one of my favorite law teachers of all time. And all the law teachers I've ever had, you're right at the top.
Thank you. How many law teachers have you had?
At least one.
Well, and 6 of you learned that democracy is not a spectator sport, so.
Hey,
I wanted to
do-
say 10 people were in here that you taught when we were doing your thing. I counted how many, like, so 3 were 4. I was like, we're not.
And there are only 4,990 others.
Yes, yes.
my memory doesn't work that well anymore, but when I do think back about, the most memorable things about high school, Close Up and the Canadian Exchange are both
Top.
easy top 5.
Mine too.
Like those things not only stick out, but they were hugely, important to,
Impactful.
like we were just talking about, getting out of this building, and nothing against this building, but just getting out and seeing a different part of the world changed directions for me, and I have you to thank for that. So thank you. So
And I'm always so thankful that the administrators, the board members were always supportive of whatever harebrained idea I had for a class, for an experience, and so on. So I have been very blessed, very fortunate, and I'm very grateful.
Anyone else? Just to wrap it up, I guess, again, thank you, Ms. Ryder. And I want to thank Katie for
Yes, thank you, Katie.
taking care of
Yes.
that beautiful bouquet.
Very
and
nice.
things. And Christmas is coming up.
Yeah, Merry
So,
Christmas.
enjoy your holidays and, yeah.
The Buchanan Community School Foundation has its official logo, and I encourage everyone to become a part of that effort, because
Yep.
it's very important.
All right, very good. If there's nothing else, our next board meeting will be January 21st. It would be the organizational meeting as we get reorganized, and we stand adjourned.